I'm going to show you guys how to create a blueprint out of your model. This blueprint is going to go on what we call a drawing file. This step's going to be a little bit confusing, I think, because we're using the virtual desktops from within your Chrome browser, but if you pay close attention, I'm sure you guys can figure this out. So this drawing file that you're going to put your blueprint on is going to be downloaded from the class website. However, you need to make sure that you load the class website from within the virtual machine. Don't go to the website in a separate tab. So I'm going to demonstrate that very quickly. So you'll notice here I'm in my virtual machine environment. I'm going to go down here to the Start menu, and I'm going to find Chrome. So there's Google Chrome, and I'm going to launch it. Chrome opens up, and I'm going to type in the class website, plainfieldtech.weebly.com. Now we're going to hover over Technology and Robotics and go to Section 4, and then download the appropriate drawing file that you need. So for assignment 1, you would download the blank drawing file template. For assignment 2, you would download the metric file template. So once you click download, it should download at the bottom of the screen here. Once it's finished downloading, you can just click right on that file and it should open in your program. And then from here, you can follow the video on how to place your views, add your dimensions, add your text, and then the final video will show you how to export it as a PDF so that you can submit it to Google Classroom. All right, so to add our views, text, and dimensions in the drawing file, we're going to start by clicking Base in the Place Views menu. When you choose Base, it pops up with this little box. And if you happen to already have your REM2 model open, it would give you a preview right here. But since I don't, I need to actually go and find it and open it. So I'm going to click this Open Existing File button. And it says Look in Documents. That's on the hard drive. So obviously I can't find this. So I need to go down to my Google Drive file stream. If this is not showing up for you, that means that you forgot to log in to Drive file stream. So if that's not showing up, you need to go back to the desktop, the virtual desktop that is, find the Drive file stream icon, double click on it, log in, and come back to this so that you can access your Drive file stream. Open my Drive, and I'm going to my Technology and Robotics folder that I created, the Inventor folder that I created, and there's my REM2 part. So I double click that, and now it gives me a preview right in the middle. Notice my scale is 1/2 size, so I'm going to leave that. I'm looking at my front view, and I'm going to drag that down to the lower left-hand corner of my page. I'm going to take my mouse directly above my front view, and you'll see a little dotted rectangle that's showing my top view. I'm going to single click there. And I'm going to go to the right of my front view. Now it shows a taller rectangular box. That's my right side view, so I'm going to single click there. And I'm going to go up here into this empty space. This is going to be my isometric or home view. Single click there. And now I'm going to click OK. Okay, so we've got our views on the page. Now we are ready to add our dimensions. I'm actually going to drag my right side view over just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to start with my top view here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so it's easier for you guys to see. And I'm going to go to the Annotate menu, click Dimension. And I'm going to put a dimension from the top edge to this dotted edge right here. This is the edge of that revolved feature. So I'm going to single click on the top edge and then go anywhere along here on this dotted line. Click in, drag it out, and that should be 0.38. I'm going to uncheck this box so it will not continue to pop up. And click OK. And that's the only dimension I'm going to add to the top view. Now looking at my front view, I'm going to start by getting a dimension on the top half of that circle. It's actually going to give us a radius. Make sure you avoid that green dot there. So I'm just going to click on the edge of my semicircle there, drag that out, and you'll see that is a radius of 3, which is correct because our original diameter of that circle when we drew it was 6. Now this bottom edge right here, again, we want to avoid the green dot. I'm going to just single click off to the side, drag that down. That should be 2. Then I want the dimension on this vertical edge here, avoiding that green dot. Click the line, drag it out. That should be 2. This next one is a little trickier. I'm not going to click on the line here. I'm going to click on the endpoint here. And then this little intersection point here. Pull that number out. It should be 1.35. I'm going to do the same thing for the inside portion of the revolved feature. So I'm going to click this endpoint here. And this endpoint. Drag that out. It should be 1.87. And that is all of the dimensions for the front view. Going over to my right side, I'm going to get the diameter of the original circle that I used for my revolved feature. So I'm going to just click on the edge, drag it out. It should be 0.25. I want the width of my right side view. Avoid the green dot. Click, drag it up. That should be 2. And one final dimension I'm going to add is the height of this line right here, avoiding that green dot. Pull that out. That should be 8. And we're ready to add our text. So I'm going to zoom in on the top box so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to use the text tool. Drag and draw a text box. Text size, I'm going to change that to 0.35. And this is called REM2. I'm going to hit escape to get out of my text tool so I can drag that over and center it. And then choose my text tool again. Student name. Here you would add your first and last name. And notice that I forgot to change my text size. I can't just change it now. I have to highlight my text and then change my text size to 0.35. And that makes it larger. The date. Because the date box is so skinny, you cannot add the year. So we're just going to put the month and the day, whatever that happens to be for you. I'm making this on May 3rd, so 5/3. The scale, if you'll recall when we put our original views in, it was a 1/2 scale. So I'm going to type in 1/2. And now this drawing file is complete. So when you go to save it, File, Save As, and you want to make sure it is in your Inventor folder. For you, if it says Documents, which it very well may. Actually, it will probably say downloads for you because you downloaded this drawing file. I want to change that from downloads. Go to your Google Drive file stream, open My Drive, open your Technology and Robotics folder. Just somewhere on your Google Drive is what is most important. And we would save this as REM2 drawing. And that concludes how to create the drawing file for your REM2 model.